I'm live. Okay. Hi, goats. Um, so welcome. Let me know how you're doing. What you're working on. I'm going to be showing you the second part of this um, tu- tutorial. That word is always hard for me to say with my stuttering. But so this the second part of this, and of course you don't need to be working on that or anything while you watch. Just feel free to hang out. I will be looking at the chat just to make sure that I'm not missing stuff that people ask or like want to chat about. So um, don't don't feel like you have to be silent. But at least while there's not much going on in the chat, I'll just be showing you this. But first, I did promise to show you a couple of other things just for fun. Yesterday, a friend gave me a new tote bag, which is great because, as I'm sure you know, we can never have too many tote bags. Goats and totes. Excellent. So I like this one because like I don't know exactly what this means, but like it says San Francisco, which is well next door to where I live now, and innovativeusers.org. So that's cool. But it's a black tote bag, which is nice. Fits my aesthetic. So shout out to Barbara if you happen to be watching. Oh no, Amaris, I'm so sorry. That is hard. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I am glad for you to hang out, and you know, hopefully I can take your mind off it a bit with um, 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 the crochet and stuff. So yeah. Well, I do want to show you some yarn that I did this week. This is one of the new colors that I did, kind of a black with just a hint of red. So I'm going to do more dark yarn, just like I'm going to try and do like an actual black yarn too, but I wanted to just try out just seeing what a hint of red would do. And oh good, I am glad to hear that you're doing okay. I'm happy to help just distract you. Yeah, I haven't gone through that, but I'm close to someone who has, and it's not fun. So yeah. So distraction. This I decided to call this one my probably gothiest name yet, of which there will be lots more, Vampire King. I was thinking about calling it King of Shadows, but I feel like that colorway needs to be more of a like just black or maybe blue, like black with maybe hints of blue or gray. And since this one has red, I was like, you know, it's kind of like blood. So I'm excited about this one. Expect to see more of this. Where do I put this yarn? And I dyed a whole bunch more of the red that was so popular that someone bought me out. Of course, there were only 3 skeins, which is barely enough to make a cardigan or something. But like, I'm trying to work up my stock. So the red and black, which I call Red Champion, I dyed more of that, and this time, like last time, there was some kind of an orangey gray look here where the red and black meet, but this time it's more of a wine color, which is cool. So I'll definitely be doing more of that. Have to get a sweater quantity so that people can go to my site and be like, oh yes, I want to crochet an entire sweater and buy and have enough yarn to do that. Then the last colorway I was experimenting with is this red and gold and orange colorway that is kind of supposed to look like fire or the sunset, and I call it Joy because that's what I've been trying to follow in my life. And even though like the last couple of years have been extremely hard for me, and they're definitely getting better, but I realized that I need to really focus on like what brings me the most joy and just try to follow that, even if it doesn't make the most like practical sense. So this was also the first time I used my yellow dye, so I thought you know it may as well try it out. I only have 2 skeins of this one so far, but there will definitely be more. They're still on the hangers because they're not quite dry, or like at least they weren't dry when I last checked, so it was a bit hard to like stuff them all in my tote bag. It was like, I hope these don't get tangled. They're fine, but it's much easier to pack them when they're not on the hangers. So I wanted to continue with the bunny tutorial that we were doing last time. Oh, he's upside down. Okay, so this is the chin, and then we're up to like this triangle that you see here is the nose, actually. My camera's a bit blurry at the moment, but this is the full one that I did when I was making sure that I knew how to do this pattern. So we're up to about here, which is row 5. And I'll just I'm going to continue with row 6 as I did last time, and feel free to jump in the chat if you have a question or anything like that. I managed to put the written instructions for the part we did last time on the previous live in the chat, in the description box, so I'll try and do that again this time. I'm not sure if it will be as fast as I did it last time, but hopefully soon. So we have chained 1, and just looking at my chart here. So for row 6, we slip stitch into this first chain 2 space, chain 4, we do a treble crochet in the same chain 2 space, and that's our first 2 treble cluster. I found out that is what that stitch is called. Then there's also like a 2 double cluster or a 3 treble or 3 double clusters. So it's a good name. It kind of it's very modification friendly based on what you need. So chain 2, do a second treble cluster, and this one's an actual treble cluster because for the first one, of course, we had to count the chains as the first part. Then we chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, and I'll go over the whole row again after I'm done, just so we have a recap. Chain 3, two double crochet cluster in this next double crochet. So that's like the treble cluster, except there are fewer loops on the hook. Chain 2, a second 2 double crochet cluster in this same stitch. And there will be a lot of double crochet clusters coming up, because they're used to outline the eyes of the bunny. Then chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet. And just so you know, I can't see the chat right now because I'm on the chart page, but I will check in with chat in after this row. Then chain 3, then we have our fan shape, which turned out to be the nose. In the first double crochet, we do a double crochet cluster, 2 double crochet cluster. All of the clusters will just be 2, so I will stop saying that part. Chain 2, second double crochet cluster. It's a bit confusing because there are 2 double crochets in each cluster, but then there are also 2 clusters, so like 4 total. So that's our cluster on one side of the nose. Chain 3. Oh yeah, I caught the metallic strand of yarn in this yarn. That tends to happen a lot with the sparkly yarn. Then we double crochet in the center space of these 6 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right in the center here, between doubles 3 and 4, we're doing another double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet cluster in the last double crochet, chain 2, second double crochet cluster in that same stitch, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet. Sorry, scratch that. That is a double cluster in the next double crochet. So there's only one standalone double crochet, and then there are clusters on each side. Chain 2, second double cluster in the same stitch, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, then in this last chain 2 space we have our motif of the treble crochet clusters. So there's, I think I didn't yarn over it enough times for the second part of the cluster. Okay, that's one treble, chain 2, treble cluster. One treble cluster, chain 2, second treble cluster. Chain 1, turn. I'm going to switch back to the place where I can see chat. Taking on some commission to keep busy for a while, and also I decided to go back to therapy. Well, I am glad that you are finding ways to take care of yourself. I'm also in therapy. It's a great thing, and yeah, hope that the commissions and all help. So I just want to go over this and just kind of recap. So we, after the chain 1 turn from the 5th row, we slip stitched into this chain 2 space. Then chained 4 and had our worked our treble crochet into the same chain 2 space. That counts as the first treble cluster. Chain 2, second treble cluster, chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, double cluster into this next double crochet, chain 2, second double cluster into the same stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, then we make the double cluster, chain 2, double cluster into this next double crochet, which is also the first in the fan shape. And it's, sorry, my camera's kind of like it's hard to see like exactly what's happening, but I'm trying to just like use this as a guide and then mostly just tell you what the stitches are. So but at least you kind of have some idea what this shape is. So after this double crochet cluster, we chain 3, make a double crochet in the center of the 6 doubles in the previous row. So we work that double in the chain 1 space between the 3rd and 4th double crochet in row 5. Then chain 3, double cluster, chain 2, double cluster in the last double crochet of that fan shape. So this 6th one, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double cluster, chain 2, double cluster in the next double crochet. Oh, I am having a difficult day with stuttering, as you can tell, but please bear with me. Chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, treble cluster, chain 2, treble cluster in the last chain 2 space, then chain 1 and turn, and we're ready for row 7 after we hydrate. Okay, back to the chart. This one is very similar, just a couple of differences with the previous one. But we're continuing the eye outlines, starting with the eye shape, continuing some shading on the nose. It's amazing how, like, even with lace, where most of the pattern is just open space, like this person still got some good like shaping and shading that kind of makes the nose stand out. It's cool. So yeah, we've chained 1, slip stitch into this first chain 2 space. Excuse me. Right. Chain 4, treble crochet, chain 2, treble cluster in this same chain 2 space, we're chaining 2 instead of 3 like we did last time, because we want the cheeks to just kind of go up and in, or the sides of the face. So chain 2, as we've done, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 2, and then we make our double crochet cluster in this chain 2 space. So after this, it's very easy to see where the double cluster motif happens, because it's just in the same one, in the same space. They're kind of stacked. Chain 2, second double crochet cluster in the same space. I think I yarned over twice instead of just once, so it's only a double, not a treble. So chain 3, and then we kind of make a V shape just like down here, except now we're doing it for the eyes. So double crochet in this next double crochet, chain 3, and then double crochet in this same double crochet. I'm going to redo that because I think I only caught 1 loop, which would be fine for mosaic crochet, but this is not what we're doing right now. Now it's trying to split on me. No. Keep it together, man. Okay. So now we've made our V. Double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in this next double crochet down here. Okay, once again, I have to redo that because I ended up doing it in the double crochet cluster. We want to do this in the standalone double crochet. I thought something felt weird. Trust your instincts. Okay. There, that looks right. Chain 3, and then we do our double crochet cluster in the chain 2 space of the previous double crochet cluster. Chain 2, second double crochet cluster, like that. Again, they're kind of stacked. Chain 2, and this is what I'm talking about with the shading effect, because now we put this row and the next row like right on the top of the nose, kind of give it the effect of going away from the viewer, like perspective. So we do a double crochet in this chain 3 space, chain 2, do another double crochet in this chain 3 space, chain 2, then we continue with our double clusters over in the chain 2 space that's in between the previous double clusters, chain 2, second double crochet cluster, I don't know if you heard my housemate's dog, but she seems excited. I came out and found her licking the side of the stove last night. She was just like, tasty. I think something had spilled, so like I wiped the side of the stove just to make sure there wasn't anything that could hurt her, but it was just so funny. She was standing there like, wow, Junie, okay. So after that cluster, we've chained 3, double crochet in the standalone double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the same double crochet. So that's our other V. This will turn out to be kind of the pupil, I think, of the bun. A bun. Chain 3. Double crochet in this chain 2 space. Sorry, double cluster. So we're stacking the clusters again. Up to our old tricks of stacking the clusters. So double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster. Chain 2, right? Because we're trying to make the face taper up. Double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 2 and treble crochet in this treble cluster in this chain 2 space. Pretty sure I only yarned over once. It's the hardest part of this pattern is just like switching back and forth between double and treble clusters. So chain 2, second treble cluster. And I'll catch up on chat in just a sec. Chain 1, turn. Whoa, yeah, that you've you've been busy. It sounds like 6 dishcloths and 10 makeup pads. Yeah. If you end up posting them on Instagram or anywhere, tag me. I would love to see them. Let's see. So just to recap, row 7. After our chain 1, we slip stitched into the chain 2 space. Chain 4, treble crochet, chain 2 treble crochet cluster in that same space. Chain 2 double crochet in the next standalone double crochet. We have a chain 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2 second double crochet cluster in this chain 2 space where we did the same thing in the previous row. Chain 3, and then double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next standalone double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet cluster, chain 2 double crochet cluster in the chain 2 space, where the previous double crochet cluster is. I'm having trouble saying words that begin with D, so like all of these double crochets are hard. So then we're up to the top of the nose. Chain 2, double crochet in the chain 3 space. Chain 2, double crochet in the next chain 3 space. Chain 2, double cluster, chain 2, double cluster in the chain 2 space where the previous double crochet cluster is. Chain 3, and then double crochet, chain 3, double crochet to make a V shape in the next standalone double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster in the previous place where we made that motif in the chain 2 space. Chain 2, double crochet in the next standalone double crochet. Chain 2, treble crochet, chain 2, treble crochet in the last chain 2 space. Chain 1, turn, and then we get to do row 8. I'm actually going to minimize this chart like I did last time so that I can see the shot at the same time. Of course, I can't see what I'm seeing on camera or what you're seeing, so let me know if like if I'm off camera or I'm anything like that. Stretch first. My back gets really tight between my shoulder blades. Getting my elbow pillow too. So row 8. Slip stitch into this first chain 2 space. Chain 4. Treble crochet, which involves 2 yarn overs. Chain 2. Treble cluster into the same chain 2 space. Chain 2. I'm sorry, we just chain 1 after this. We're continuing the taper. Double crochet into the next standalone double crochet. Chain 1. Double cluster into this chain 2 space between the previous rows double crochet clusters. Chain 2. Make the second double cluster in this same chain 2 space. Chain 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, counting how many double crochets I saw on the pattern next. So right, we've chained one, and then we work into this chain 3 space in the V shape. So double crochet, chain 1, and then we just work 5 double crochets with a chain 1 in between each one. Yeah, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, then double crochet in the chain 2 space of the previous double crochet, double cluster in the chain 2 space of the previous double cluster, chain 2, second double cluster, now we're back on the nose, the top of the nose shading kind of. So chain 3, double crochet in the chain 2 space that's right in between these two standalone double crochets. Chain 3, double cluster in the chain 2 space in between the previous double clusters, chain 2, second double cluster in the same chain 2 space, chain 1, and then in this V, the chain 3 space in the V shape, we do the same thing as on the other side. Work 5 double crochets with the chain 1 in between each one. 1, 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, chain 1, then double crochet cluster into the chain 2 space above the previous double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster into the same chain 2 space, chain 1, double crochet into the standalone double crochet, chain 1, and treble cluster into the last chain 2 space. Chain 2, treble cluster into the same space. Chain 1, turn. My voice is getting a bit hoarse, so I think that this is going to have to be the last row for this time. But I will go over what we just did with row 8, and we can pick back up hopefully on on Thursday. So we slip stitch into the chain 2 space in the previous row, chain 4, treble crochet, chain 2, treble crochet cluster all into that same chain 2 space, chain 1, double crochet into the next standalone double crochet, chain 1, double cluster, chain 2, double cluster into the chain 2 space above the previous double crochet cluster, chain 1, and then in this the chain 3 space in the V shape, work 5 double crochets, each with the chain 1 in between. So double chain 1, double chain 1, and so on, and until you get to 5. Chain 1, double cluster, chain 2, double cluster into the chain 2 space above the you know, the same motif. Chain 3, double crochet in the chain 2 space between the two standalone double crochets on top of the nose. Chain 3, make our double crochet cluster, chain 2, a double crochet cluster in the chain 2 space. And again, we're stacking that motif. Chain 1, do the 5 double crochet with a chain 1 in between each one in that chain 3 space in the V shape. Chain 1, double crochet cluster, chain 2, a double crochet cluster in the chain 2 space above the previous one. Chain 1, double crochet in the next standalone double crochet, chain 1, treble cluster, chain 2, treble cluster in the last chain 2 space. Thank you, Amaris. I am glad to hear that. Last time someone gave me a compliment that made my day. They said that I had a Bob Ross energy, which I was like, wow, thank you. So that made me feel a lot less worried about, like, oh, am I boring people that if they don't want to come here and learn how to do a bunny lace. But so like do let me know how you're liking this tutorial crochet along style of video. I'm trying to like do more lives where I kind of give something, like of course it's fun to hang out and chat, but like I'm also trying to like give a reason for people that don't know my channel to come and find it. So but yeah, I was so when the person told me that, I was like, yeah, that's, you know, that makes sense, that some people might like to just like hang out and watch me explain how to do something, even if they don't want to do it at the moment, because sometimes I like to watch someone teach me how to do something, and I'm like, I have no intention of picking up a paintbrush or something and like doing that, but I just kind of like being here while this person tells me how to do a thing. So so well, you know, just keep the practicing. It chart lace can be really hard to get your head around sometimes, because it it doesn't always go back and forth. It kind of leaps and bounds, so, and like turns, so it can be hard to follow. But one thing I hope to do on my channel is to make lace more accessible, and because like I love it so much, it's why I actually started to crochet maybe like 10 years ago. So I can bring the joy of lace. That was a that was a Bob Ross reference. I think he has a book or a series called the Joy of Painting. So the joy of goats. I was thinking it's a shame that I'm not in, like, I mean, I love crochet, but I was like, if only I, you know, if I happen to do cross stitch and stuff like that, then I would have an amazing pun that I could do. Bob floss, because floss is what they use, like the thread. So like that part of YouTube is called floss tube. So I'm not sure if there's a good pun with that for fiber, but still. So if you want to see more from me, like small patterns and yarn and goats, make sure to follow my Instagram, thorn_wing_crochet. So, but yeah, for right now, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do end up doing this, like, you know, tag me and show me how it's coming. I would love to see that. I feel like it's the perfect season to do like to learn how to do some bunny coffee coasters, or since I'm using yarn this size, it's more like a coffee tablecloth since it's so big. This pattern is actually designed for like the crochet thread, so it would be tiny, but I'm using larger yarn just to like show you how to. It's a bit easier to see. So anyway, have a good day.